We'll call the Board of County Commissioners meeting for February 1st, 2022 to order. Beth, can you do roll call, please?
Barry?
Here.
Steve?
Here.
Bo?
Here.
David?
Here.
We have a quorum. We'll proceed. Pledge of Allegiance, please. Okay, we'll go right to the consent agenda. What are the wishes of the board?
Make a motion to approve as presented, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Kemp. Any discussion? Beth, roll call.
Barry?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Bo?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Motion carried. Cameron, you ready to go? We're going to have Cameron's going to do planning and zoning for us today.
Scary thought, isn't it? Good morning, Cameron Heimer, Development Services. The first item on the agenda today is LU 0172-21. Edward Tamaki, on behalf of Sandra Odegaard, is requesting a 3-lot minor subdivision. 2 of the lots will be 8 acres and the remainder is 23 acres. The newly created parcels will not meet the minimum lot size requirements for the agricultural zoning district, so the applicant is also requesting a zone change to rural residential. Rural residential is the most appropriate zoning due to the lot size and future use. The property currently does have a CUP for a second dwelling that was granted in 2017. The additional dwelling was for family use. The applicant did ask staff to place a 3rd dwelling on the property while this request is being processed. As far as our knowledge, it's not being occupied, and we said that was all right as they went through the process. When the minor subdivision is completed, I believe that there is intended to be 1 home per parcel. The Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval of staff comments. Those comments are to adhere to the 2015 zoning ordinance and subdivision regulations, continued adherence to the CUP conditions, and recordation of the plat. And we did not receive township feedback on this one.
I see Ed's here. Ed, do you have anything you want to add to that? Okay. For any of you guys online, he said even if he has questions, he is here. Any questions, or what are the wishes of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve as presented and follow the recommendations of the planning and zoning.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Bo, second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? No discussion. Roll call, please, Beth.
Steve?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Bo?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The next item is LU 0169-21, Mandy Reveling. For a matter of record, I would just like to say that the section number on the staff report is incorrect. It says section 9. It's actually in section 5. It's shown on the maps. The applicant is requesting a zone change to urban residential. The property is currently zoned light industrial. There is an existing home on the property, which makes the use non-compliant with the light industrial zoning. Urban residential is the most appropriate zoning district for the parcel due to the lot size, current use, and proximity to municipal infrastructure. The property was zoned industrial prior to our 2015 zoning ordinance update. And then we did update it to light industrial in order to honor that original zone change. This area, especially the Highway 40 there, was a little difficult when we were going through and updating our maps because there is a lot of mixed use in the area. Staff went out there and found that the surrounding zoning is predominantly light industrial. However, the uses will vary as we go through that area. The applicant, I believe, is selling the property to a new owner who plans to replace the home on the property itself. So this will get them into compliance with our current zoning standards. This was approved by the township, and Planning and Zoning Commission approved it with staff comments as well. And the only comment was to adhere to the 2015 zoning ordinance and subdivision regulations.
Is the applicant present or online and wish to add anything? Okay, doesn't sound like it. Turn it over to the board. What are the wishes?
I would make a motion to approve, following planning and zoning's, recommendations.
Okay, motion from Barry. Is there a second?
Bo second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, Beth.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The final planning item that we have today is LU-0147-21. John Heller is requesting a variance from Section 5-2-3, Street Roads and Easements, number 16 of the zoning ordinance. And that states, permanent dead-end streets shall not be longer than 600 feet and shall be provided at a closed end with a turnaround having an outside roadway diameter of at least 80 feet and a street property line diameter of at least 100 feet. The maximum gradient in a turnaround shall not exceed 4%. The applicant is working through the minor subdivision process to create five lots, 2 5-acre lots and 3 10-acre lots. The configuration of this plat will allow a street that will exceed the 600 feet length minimum. So that is the part that the applicant is asking for a variance from, is to have a street longer than 600 feet. Staff is recommending a turnaround at the closed end of the road as described in that section of the ordinance. The turnaround is showed in the attached plat. Judson Township did approve with comment, and Planning and Zoning also voted to approve this with staff comments. Those comments are recordation of the plat, recordation of the road maintenance agreement. The newly created road must be brought up to county road standards and adherence to the 2015 zoning and subdivision regulations.
Okay, is the applicant present or online? Okay, we'll turn it over to the board. What are the wishes?
This is Steve. I'd like to make a motion to approve following planning and zoning's recommendation.
Thank you. Motion by Steve. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Montgomery. Any discussion? Roll call, Beth.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes. Motion carried.
That's all I have. Thank you.
You did a great job, Cameron.
I practiced for hours.
All right, let's get into staff. Auditor, Beth, you got something on here?
Yes, we are going to have an election meeting today, but the Secretary of State wants to know what we're going to do for polling locations. If we want to go ahead and use the 2 polling locations like we did in the last election, which would be the Tioga Community Center or the and the ARC, or if we want to set up polling locations other place. Now, these are completely different than precincts. They're the locations where we'd vote.
I see.
And we won't be meeting, they need to know by February 5th, and we will not be meeting prior to February 5th.
Is it need to know or want to know?
they want to know?
Just as FYI, state law gives the Board of County Commissioners until 64 days before the election to decide polling locations. So we don't really have to come up with these actually until April. So to me, I guess the request from the Secretary of State's office is sort of like a want to know and not have to need to know. So
That was the question, yeah. I guess I would just soon see it go to the election committee, and then they can come back with a recommendation, since we don't have to send it to them. But I'll turn it over to the board and see if there's any other thoughts. I don't know if you heard that, Commissioner Montgomery agrees.
I agree. Let the committee discuss it and come back with a recommendation to us next meeting.
Anyone else want to weigh in?
Yeah, I agree. This is Steve.
So Karen, is this one we can just say it's going to go to their committee and we don't have to do anything? No action? Is that? Yes? Is that good, Beth? Okay. All right, we will move on to communications. Lindsay, what do you got?
The Montgomery Counseling Service is one of the recipients of the Behavioral Health Grant Award, and one of their expenditures that was approved through the award was to purchase a partition for their office space to help them optimize for groups and appointments and such. They were supposed to expend those funds, which was $3,000 by the end of the year, but due to materials costs, they weren't able to find something for that price. So they're requesting an extension to the agreement to give them until May to be able to find something better priced. So you have in your packet the request letter from Chris Montgomery, as well as a draft agreement amendment to the agreement if you so wish to request or give that to her.
Okay, you
I would
guys.
make a motion, sorry, this is Steve, I'd make a motion to allow for the extension until May 1st, 2022, to expend the $3,000.
And authorize the chairman to sign the amendment.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
thanks.
please.
It's funny, your voice changed there a little bit, Steve.
Yeah, it does that sometimes.
Is there a second to that motion?
Both second.
I heard Bo got a second on it. Is there any other discussion? Roll call, please, Beth.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes,
Bo.
Yep.
motion carried.
Thanks.
Is that it for you, Lindsay?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, Christy, do you have something? You do not? I'm just was checking to see. I want to get you towards the end. We're gonna let you get up a few more times. Is there any other staff that needs to say anything? What time's the meeting at today, Dennis? 10 o'clock, Frost Law meeting here. All right, Karen, come on up.
I just wanted to, I sent out some information about the Sarah-Lon loan agreement yesterday and possibly talk about it today, but I think it might be a better idea to push it to the next meeting so we can talk about it in a closed executive session. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So just, that's it. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Helen, I think we're all the way to you. I didn't mean to make that sound like we were let down to be to you, but
I wish I had more to stretch this out a little bit, but I don't. We don't have any positions that need approval, nor do we have any board members to appoint. So you have a report, but there's no action needed. I do have one thing for you, though, that I actually forgot to put on the agenda till I opened up my binder, and that is that we talked about at budget time, we are going to upgrade the access control system across all of our buildings in this year. And we did budget money for that project. And I now have a quote from the company, which I sent out to sort of our working group is Ryan Steppen, who's our IT director, Steve, who is the IT portfolio, and Keith. So we toured through the vendor that we've selected. We've talked through this quote, and now because it's a large ticket item, Christy and I decided I should request permission here to proceed with placing the order. Because of the supply chain issues that we've seen over the last 18 months, we think it's important that we get this order in order to actually try and complete it this year. So the quote, we budgeted $330,000 for this project, and the quote comes in higher than that, unfortunately, because of the way we've seen costs increase to I'm gonna round it up because there's some change involved, to $423. Talked with Christy, there is money in the capital improvement fund, so we have the money to cover that difference. And this does include all of the access control pieces, components upgraded throughout all of our buildings.
Anybody have any questions
Helen?
for Helen?
Yeah, I just have one. And Helen, you kind of anticipated, you thought this might go higher than what the original budget was, right?
Yeah, the quote that I got was in probably May of last year, and so we just know that things have increased. Yeah.
Yeah. I would make a motion to approve, and does somebody need to be authorized to sign that?
Yes, please, if you want to authorize. It maybe needs to be me because this is like a preliminary quote. Otherwise, Corey will have to come back in to do it.
Okay, I would make a motion to approve the quote and authorize Helen to sign.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Motion carried.
That's all I have.
That's it?
I
Okay.
know. Thanks.
We do have one more item. Commissioner Montgomery has one to bring up, or did you? Okay. I will turn it over to Commissioner Montgomery.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I received an email yesterday from the mayor on a request, and it pertains to the public safety sales tax. And obviously, the request was it was a request that I was not going to give an answer on my own. So I asked Mr. Hanson if we could discuss it today. It's basically just a yes or no question. With the public safety sales tax due to expire in 2015, 25, started in 2015. Thank you. Anyway, it's time to start thinking about whether or not Williams County and the city of Williston want to look at requesting the voting public to whether or not we want to extend that public safety sales tax. So that's the question before the commission today is just a simple yes or no question. Does Williams County want to participate in looking at extending the request of extending the public safety sales tax?
All right. I guess I'll just give my thoughts quick, and it'll be short. But it's been an incredible positive for the entire county. I don't know that it's going to look exactly the same next time around. Maybe that's something we need to look at. But personally, I would think we'd want to support trying to get it to come back.
Very much agree. I mean, this is just one step in the beginning of the process because, as you stated, Corey, there's going to have to be discussions down the road on how we want to handle it. But I guess that's for another day, and it's just a matter of whether or not we want to pursue because they need an answer because I'm sure they're going to pursue it with or without us. So we need to decide whether or not we want to participate in it. So.
Any thoughts from the guys online?
This is Steve. I would support it.
I think it's been like Corey said, I think it's done some fantastic results out in the county. So if the voters would approve it, that would be a plus, I think.
Yeah, same from both, so it's a yes from me.
Kate, let's, could we get a motion and we'll just do it that way?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion that Williams County continue to pursue interest of participating in requesting the public to extend the 1 cent public safety sales tax between the county and the city.
Is there a second?
Both second.
Kate, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, Beth.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey.
Yes, motion carried. Commissioner Montgomery, will you reply to that email then? Perfect. Anybody got anything else that we need to discuss today? We will adjourn the February 1st, 2022 commission meeting. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.